Welcome to Couch's Corner, sponsored by Spam.
I'm Ben Concord Pacific.
I'm Sean Smarty Pants Hogan.
In this episode, I am going to talk about my top 3 favorite Courtney Gray halftime shows.
The halftime show is a music concert with famous musicians or bands. There are lots of dancing, fireworks, and light show.
The halftime show is important because it gives the players to rest or to get yelled at by the coach.
Give him a good what for.
I had the opportunity to go to the 110th Grey Cup game in Hamilton at Tim Hortons Field between Winnipeg and Montreal, and Green Day was the halftime show.
I'm a big Green Day fan. I have the Dookie and American Idiot CDs.
I have never saw Green Day, so I was very excited. I was going for Montreal.
And I was going for Winnipeg.
Green Day played 4 songs: The American Dream Is Killing Me, Basket Case, The Boulevard of Broken Dreams, and Holiday.
4 dandy Green Day songs.
My favorite song was Holiday because of the fireworks and the fireballs shooting up into the sky, and I could feel the excitement, the loud explosions.
Sounds like a great halftime show.
My second favorite halftime show at the Grey Cup was Shania Twain.
All right, she's good.
The game featured Calgary and Toronto, who sucks.
I agree. They are pathetic.
The game was played at TD Place Stadium in Ottawa. It was the 105th edition of the Grey Cup. I was rooting for Calgary to win.
This was the second time that Shania Twain had performed at the halftime show, and she did the halftime show Super Bowl 37 in San Diego, California. They pulled her in by dog sleds, which is interesting because it was snowing that day.
She is from Windsor and she is still doing tours. She played that Don't Impress Me Much.
I like it.
Life's about to get good and man, I feel like a woman. These are my favorite songs by her. Plus, I never saw her, but I have heard her before on the radio.
I listened to her on Bounce 1029.
She's obviously famous, and she is Canadian. I really like her getting pulled in on dog sleds. That's very Canadian.
That's a great way of bringing the guest in.
I like the Green Day halftime show better because they sang 4 songs. The show had fireworks, lights, fireballs, dancers, but Shania sunk into the stage at the end, which was very cool.
That's a great way of ending the show.
Which Green Day did not have. Now keep in mind she is a country singer, which is different from a rock band.
It's not as aggressive.
I like the last song that she done at halftime. Man, I feel like a woman because I was dancing to it despite it was freezing out in Ottawa.
Oh, man. Now for a history lesson about halftime shows. The Super Bowl had its first halftime show in 1967 when the University of Arizona and Grambling State marching bands played in the Los Angeles Coliseum, where the University of Southern California football plays.
The first musical act at the Super Bowl was not until 1991 when New Kids on the Block played at Super Bowl 25.
Wow, that's a famous band.
Most halftime shows have been played by pop stars or marching bands with a few rap stars thrown in there.
The Grey Cup halftime shows have been going on since 1991, when Burton Cummings performed in Winnipeg in minus 16 degrees Celsius, and that's not cold, that's freezing cold. So better layer up or turn into ice. Today I'm going to talk about hockey goons or enforcers. They are people that do things in hockey that I don't appreciate. They are bullies and act ungentlemanly to the opposing team on the ice. This might include checking from behind, hitting with sticks, and instigating fights and
checking to the head.
They also can be protectors of their teammate, star players, and goal scorers while they are on the ice. You may want to have a good goon on your team. The goon I don't like is number 8, Alex Ovechkin from Russia of the Washington Capitals. He does dirty, earth-shattering hits. He hits people from behind into the boards, which is very unsafe and against the rules. He gets penalties, but the damage is already done. When he does hits, I don't find it entertaining. I get frustrated, but I would want him to protect me.
Me too, Sean. I want him to protect me from Crybaby Crosby.
One thing I will give him credit for is he is known for scoring lots of goals, up to 700.
I agree with you, Sean. He's a good goal scorer.
Another goon I don't like is goalie Ron Hextall. He plays on the Philadelphia Flyers, number 27. Even though he is a goalie, he was still constantly getting into fights.
You're right, Sean. He plays dirty, but I love goalie fights.
One thing he did that I didn't like was when he gave Kent Nielsen of the Oilers a chop in the leg with the goalie stick. Kent Nielsen went down like a sack of potatoes. I wasn't an Oilers fan at the time, but I do appreciate the enforcer, number 27, Dave Semenko. He was a protector of Wayne Gretzky. He was a great enforcer that never let Wayne get knocked down and allowed Wayne to score tons of points. Dave got lots of penalty minutes with 1,175. That's a lot.
He is number 282 in career penalty minutes.
The Oilers went on to win 4 Stanley Cups in a row with Dave's help. In conclusion, enforcers are helpful to have because they protect players, while goons are just bullies on the ice. Alex Ovechkin is a dirty player that decks from behind for no reason. He just wants to show off. Not cool, Alex.
Oh my God, Sean, you need to look at this from the positive side. He's a great goal scorer, and he sets up other players for assists.
All right, Concord, you win this round.
In this segment, I am going to talk about an interesting hobby of mine, ventriloquism. Basically, it is the art of bringing a puppet to life by having someone control the body and even speak.
What do you mean, control the heart, Red? You're not making me do nothing. You keep talking like this, I'm going to get up and walk away.
Whatever you say, buddy. You're free to go whenever you want to.
Okay, good to know.
Anyways, a ventriloquism is someone that speaks without moving their mouth, so it gives an illusion that the puppet is speaking.
Kind of like this.
Ventriloquism is a very old art that goes all the way back to the ancient Greeks.
I think the word ventriloquism comes from the ancient Greek word vent, meaning hardly complain to your wife, and ventriloquism meaning talking for the puppet.
Actually, bonehead, the word comes from 2 Greek words, venter meaning belly and liquid meaning speak. Originating in ancient Greece, ventriloquism was a religious practice. They believed that the sound in the stomach was actually voices of the dead that were living in the stomach of the...
You mean to tell me that these sounds come from your belly are ghosts and not the 3-day-old spicy tacos I had from Son 11?
Well, that's what the ancient Greeks thought anyway. Speaking of which, this episode is brought to you by Pepto-Bismol. Whatever is nauseous, heartburn, upset stomach, or diarrhea, they've got you covered, even you, bonehead. Anyways, they were also considered to be fortune tellers in their culture. The term they gave to them was gastromancers,
which of course is taken from the Latin gastro, meaning heart, and answer meaning dancing and
Simply fascinating, Bonehead, but you're getting it all wrong. Those words actually mean belly and prophecy, but nice try anyway. In entertainment, ventriloquism became popular in the 1700s in traveling fun fairs and market squares. By 1886, Fred Russell would be regarded as the father of modern ventriloquism. He was the first to have what seemed to be a natural conversation with his dummy.
hey, who you calling a dummy?
This approach would influence ventriloquism to come, including Jeff Dunham and David Strassman. I really admire these guys for how believable they make their act seem. It's like their puppets are really alive.
What do you mean, really alive? I am alive. Alive!
Personally, I have been interested in ventriloquism for a year and a half. I really enjoy creating characters that make the audience laugh. I first saw ventriloquism on YouTube, and I thought the puppets were really fun and interesting. I thought it was something I could try myself. My first puppet from my sister on Christmas a few years ago. I found one that I liked on a website, and she ordered it for me. That was you, Bonehead. When he arrived, the package said his name was Moron, but I have named him Bonehead. I also have a few other puppets like an old man, Howdy Doody, a chef, and a dog. In order to practice the art, you have to sit in front of a mirror and practice pronouncing words or sounds. Don't move your lips. There are many different technologies to learn to speak, but it takes lots of practice. The trick is to make the words sound proper while giving the illusions that your mouth is staying still. You have to make sure you move the puppet's mouth so that it looks like they are speaking instead. I would consider myself to be doing well with ventriloquism, but I know I can improve with more practice. I would like to get better at not moving my mouth when speaking with a dummy and matching the dummy with my voice. I've been doing a lot of research about script writing and how to craft material for the audience. I found a lot of helpful information just by watching YouTube. In the future, I would like to put on an act for adults and children, or even two separate acts, one for adults and one for the kids. I wouldn't mind doing it live on YouTube or in front of a live audience in St. Catharines. Be sure to stay tuned for future recording on YouTube or live show announcements.
Just watch it. I'll be there too.